Hi everyone and welcome back to the Project Corner. Another month has passed. We're in August 2021 now. That means that Microsoft has released another monthly update for Project for the Web. Today we're going to discuss the July update for Project for the Web. It's a bit of a downtime right now because of vacation. I've been away myself for 2 weeks. I haven't looked at any of my email yet, and for me, making this video is a very nice way of starting my work week again. So we're going to look at the 3 features, and when I'm saying we're going to look at 3 features, I'm actually able to only show you one, and that is the roll-up fields in Project for the Web, which is the second one. But without diving too much into the details of me not being able to show you anything, I'm just going to show you something. So here is my July update project. And if you take a look at the columns that are in here, I created 5 new columns. The no rollup, the sum, the average, the max, and the minimum value rollups. Now these are the 5 types of rollups that you can do for your schedule. You have numerical values, and based on your setting, this will actually summarize, make an average, maximize or minimize your values. So there's a lot of things that you can think about putting this new feature to use, but let's have a look at the details on how to create those. So let's start by clicking on the edit button and see what we can actually edit. Well, that's not a lot. So once a field is either minimum, maximum, average, or sum, you cannot change that calculation. You only can change the name of that field. Well, that's good to know. If I click on add a column, I can create a new field, which is confusing if you have add a column and then it's not called a column anymore, it's called a field. But that's something for Microsoft to figure out. Let's click on new field, and I will select the number value, and right from that moment we get presented with the additional field rollup type. And as you can expect, the rollup types are no rollup, max, min, sum, and average. And based on your selection here, the calculation will be done differently. So for one, I can summarize. I can say 30, 30, 30. It's going to be 90. If I do that in a no rollup, you would expect no rollup to show up. Rollups go into summary levels, right? So that means that if I create a new summary, and I make this a subtask, I see that the values immediately appear here as zeros, which is great because I can type in 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. And these values summarize. Now my main question is, does it summarize one level above? So let's click a insert a task above, and I'll move that one all the way up. Let's call this a summary, and let's have this as a subtask and add this one as a subtask as well. And here we see that the summarization works perfectly. I can even open up one of these and I can say, okay, well, the average of this section is going to be higher. I'm going to have this as 30, and I immediately see different values popping up here. Now the average of these two, I don't know that by heart, so I'm just going to trust Microsoft being able to do calculus. There is no weighted average. Every task is weighed equally. So there's no difference between this task and that task when it goes to the numeric values. But that is one of the things that was included in the July update. Now, assigning tasks to non-group members is very promising, because so far what we have done, every time I added Miriam to any of my projects, it automatically created a group and added Miriam and myself to that group. Now, assigning tasks to people that are not part of your group actually entails that those people don't have permissions on your schedule, which might be something that you would like to have in one of your projects. So I tried to recreate that, or I tried to create that by adding a group to this project, and currently I'm the only member, and I wanted to add Miriam to my project. And I was hoping to get a pop-up giving me the choice to either add Miriam to the group or just add it to the assignment. But let's see. So here's Miriam, and I'm going to add her, and immediately it tells me that, do you want to add her as a member to the project? Well, there's two options. Yes, assign and add, or cancel. So there's no way to add Miriam to the assignments just yet. Now this might be because I'm recording this quite early in August, and this is a feature that's coming up. In that case, I'm going to add that to the next video that I'm going to do. Or I'm doing something wrong, and in that case, I'll let you know as well. So for now, I'm going to click on cancel, and we can also see what happens when I add her to the group. So assign and add. Immediately we see that there's 2 group members. So this is not what we want to have in the situation that is described in the July update. So the third thing that is changed is that the scheduling mode in Project Power Apps experience is added. Organizational admins can now enable project managers to set the scheduling mode in their projects. We have seen this before in my Project Accelerator video, so I'm not going to cover that here, other than that I want to address that there's a nice link to a document that explains the different scheduling modes. Now, scheduling modes is something that I find is more important to have on a task-by-task basis instead of a project basis. So I'm not too happy with the current way we're looking at scheduling mode. But so far I have seen very little organizations working heavily with those scheduling modes on a task-by-task basis. So that might be just pure theory from my part. These features are lovely, and I really like the option to have roll-up fields because I see some nice use cases there in the future. So let's have a brief look at what is upcoming. We have guest users coming in. We have the different dependency modes. So finally we're going to have finish to finish, start to finish, finish to start, start to start as different dependencies between tasks. This has been a big request from multiple points of view, and actually something that I think is key for working with a project management tool. And another one is coming as well, and that is critical path. For both the different dependencies and the critical path, there's actually a caveat. We see that only users with a Plan 3 license will be able to use these tools, or actually Plan 3 and higher. So we have Plan 3 and Plan 5 currently. This means that not everyone will be able to see the critical path, and not everyone will be able to use the different dependencies. Now what that means for the general users, or the Microsoft 365 licensed users, in this case, what will they see? I have no clue at the moment, but it's an upcoming feature, so let's look forward to that video. And finally, all Microsoft 365 users can provide progress to updates of their assigned tasks. So this basically gives more flexibility of a general Microsoft 365 user, which is great. So with that, I'm happy to be back at work. Hope you liked this video. If you did, click that like button, hit subscribe because there's free content once you are a member of my newsletter. And I'm looking forward to doing another Power BI video soon. So something to look forward to.